Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Felicia here, and I decided that I was going to tell you a little bit of what I'm going to be doing. So I am not going to be doing Project Life anymore, not like in the traditional sense of when it got started, which is bi-weekly. I am going to do a different kind of storytelling other than my scrapbooking, of course. And what I wanted to do was experiment and see how it goes. Now I'm going to use what I used to use. I was just kind of go back a little bit on that, is a 12 by 12 album. I used to use and I would just document and do the weekly spreads in my Project Life album. And then what I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to do was either a 6 by 12, a 9 by 12, or 6 by 8. And I decided to go ahead and do a 6 by 8. So, and I had watched Ali Edwards' video because at first I was trying to figure out how is this going to work, because I really like that size. And if I go up a little, in a bigger size, then yeah, that's later. If I decide that the 6 by 12, or I'm sorry, the 6 by 8 doesn't work for me, I can always go up to a bigger album. But what I'm not going to do is do a 12 by 12 Project Life spread like that anymore, because it was a spacing thing. So when you're finished with these albums, it was getting to the point to where I had nowhere to really store them. So what I decided to do was just kind of downsize and downscale, still tell the same stories that I want to tell, but on more multiple stories inside of an album. So they're not going to necessarily be weekly, and they're not necessarily going to be everyday stories. They're going to be like, I'm going to try to get as many of them as I can within a month's time, and that's how I'm going to do it. So I had watched the Ali Edwards video, and she showed how she has a lot of her stories in a 6 by 8 album. I'm thinking, you know what, I could do that. So that's what we're going to do. So today I am scrapping a photo, and I did a layout of this photo, but I didn't, and I told a story of this photo, but what I wanted to do was make it bigger. As you can see right here, this is I think about a little bit shorter than 6, and it's a little bit shorter than 8, but I'm going to put this on some 6 by 8 paper, so it can have like a nice little what you call that? You see, I even forgot what it's called. Anyway, I'm going to put it so I can have a little bit of a trim around here, and I'm going to make sure that I get the stories told about this photo, and then how it's going to be told is pretty much what's going on and why I took that photo. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Hello again, back again. And so I am going to explain to you the significance of this photo. This photo is of my feet. These feet have been through a lot, including carrying my injured back around. And so I have been having, sorry about that, that was a little thing. I have been having a hard time adjusting to life here the last 3 years without running. I've been a runner for a long time, and so when I had my back injury a few years ago, it was really bad, and it was to the point to where I had numbness down my leg. It was painful. Every year I would have to have an epidural, which was just very painful. It didn't last very long when I got the epidural, but it was still painful. And so what ended up happening now is that what ended up happening was I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything. I did try some exercise, light exercise, and it worked for a while, and then my back would act up again. It seemed like it did this every year. And for the last 3 years, I was tired of getting the epidural. So what I ended up doing was I almost started to give up, until one day I happened to be surfing the internet for something else, and I found out about the chiropractic care. And so what I did was I said, I wonder if this chiropractic stuff actually works. So I looked into it. This particular chiropractor puts you on what we call a hydration stretcher. And so what that did was it pulls your spine so that your disc can get rehydrated again and get the fluids back in it, so your disc can start getting healthy. So what I had was a herniated disc in more than one spot. And so that caused a lot of pain and a lot of problems. And it was just really interesting because it was also associated with a degenerative disc. So I had two things going on. I know people are like, wow, ooh, that hurts. So I did give up for a little while with running, and I just started biking. And the biking helped. It helped actually for me to at least keep my activity up and to keep weight down and things like that. Well, unfortunately, that didn't last too long, and my back flared up for the last time earlier in 2020, just before the COVID pandemic, and I was miserable. I was miserable this time. This time it was way worse. And so I decided, I'm going to just give up. I just was like, at this point, it doesn't even make sense for me to even try to do anything about my back. Until, like I said, I started surfing the internet and I found out about this chiropractor. And so now we're fast forwarding to the chiropractic care. We're fast forwarding to 7-8 months later after receiving my treatments on a regular basis. And my back is doing great. It's doing awesome. I'm just really disappointed because, and not in myself or the chiropractor or anything like that, but in doctors. Because all they tried to do was just give me drugs, and that wasn't going to correct the problem. It just alleviated the pain temporarily. And so by me going to the chiropractor, my back is actually healing itself. My discs are healing. I've seen the x-rays. I've seen it myself, and I'm in disbelief. I mean, I'm very happy, and I'm much, much better. I'm getting into much, much better shape. I'm able to run again. That's why I took the picture of my feet, because it took me one step at a time. I went to all of my appointments. I didn't miss not one appointment. I was really adamant about getting there, adamant about receiving my treatment, because I really wanted this to be better and I wanted it to stop. So this was so significant. And what I'm going to be doing here in this layout, because I've used two of these 3x4 cards, and what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be making, I like the little checks that came in here and in the kit here. And this kit is the Allie Edwards Progress Kit. And so what I'm going to be doing here is writing along those lines on a big 4x6 card there, and checking each box alongside of all the things that I've done so far, thus far, as far as me getting my back into shape with the help of the chiropractor, with the help of the care, with the help of the whole entire therapy that's been done on my back. So I'm super stoked, you guys. I am up to 3 miles now. I didn't ever think I would be back up to 3 miles. I can run 3 miles without any problems. I've been doing my regular exercise. I've actually been doing squats, and I have not been able to do squats in over 2 years. I mean, it's like a big, huge turnaround for me. And so that's what I'm writing here on this card. And I'm journaling this because it's a remarkable, even my family is amazed at the things that I can do, or think that I'm back to doing my back. And I used to laugh because my chiropractor, every time when I come, he goes, I'm going to make your back young again. I'm going to make your back young again. He was so funny, a very helpful guy, very caring guy. I was really fortunate to luck up on this particular chiropractor, and I've been doing really good with my therapy. The results are amazing. I'm actually able to get some of this weight off of my body, and I'm super stoked. I've been going hiking. I mean, and this is not all of a sudden. I gradually started doing this as I was receiving care from my chiropractor. So I am super, super excited. Super excited. So now you can see me. I decided to go ahead and put that big progress on there, because that's what it's been like for me. It's been a progress. I've been progressively getting better. I mean, with my back. I mean, it's amazing, guys. So I'm super stoked about that. So now that I'm learning how to document here on a 6x8 album, I'm going to be doing more stories like this. It felt good to really get that out and get that story down. And I hope you guys liked it. So I'll be back with more stories, you guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for your time. Have a great and wonderful scrappy week. Bye-bye.